The Greater Accra Regional Minister, Henry Korte, as part of plans to make Accra work, has proposed a bylaw to restrict or prohibit tricycles from operating on major highways and principal streets in the capital. Now, when first this directive or proposal was announced, it was misconstrued to mean that a total ban had been placed on the operations of tricycles, popularly known as Aboboyaa in Accra. This, the minister has been explaining that indeed it's not so. And so, on this edition of the City Newsroom, we'll be hearing from the minister on exactly what this bylaw is expected to do. And then, of course, we'll be speaking to the various stakeholders, including the Aboboyaa operators themselves, on what the current challenge is and the solution this particular directive seeks to bring.
And you leave Atada, your question will be, oh, so now that you cannot ride on the main Ablau road, how do you get registered? We are saying that DVLA is coming right onto your doorstep and they will help you to register. Once you've done the formal registration, the bylaw will now, the assemblies per the bylaw will have to register this Aboboyaa and give them the business operating permits. It's just like the taxis with the embossments by their cars. So for instance, if you ride an Aboboyaa in Ayo Central, there are so many areas that you can do business in Ayo Central. We have 12 electoral areas in Ayo Central. Gokomlemle East, Gokomlemle West, name them. Ayidiki, Alajo. Just make sure you are within the catchment area. Don't go and ride on the Olusegun Obasanjo Road. Don't use the N1. And that is what we are saying. So please, the message should not be that we have banned Aboboyaa. And somebody is saying, so when they collect the refuse, and I'm quoting their president, should they go and dump it in the sea? I think it's very unfortunate and unfair for a statement of that nature to be made.
Clearly, there is a problem. There is a challenge that this particular directive seeks to address. The problem of a nuisance of Aboboyaa operators on principal streets. City News' Kwaku Aduama Ansa have been gauging the problem, which was from the perspective of drivers and, of course, from residents in various communities where these tricycles operate.
The La Paz-Kasua Highway, referred to as the N1, is mostly inundated with many commercial tricycles each day. Particularly in the morning, many tricycle riders who collect rubbish from various homes to be disposed of are seen en route a landfill site situated around Weja. For convenience sake, riders who operate their businesses deliver their customers' products using the tricycle at a fee. However, their activities are a nuisance to other motorists who share the roads with them. With wooden slates erected at the edges of the bucket of the tricycle, the riders fill to the brim rubbish collected from many houses. I followed carefully some tricycle riders on the N1 to assess the extent of nuisance they pose to other motorists. The traffic light at Awushi Junction had turned red with every motorist heading towards Kasua patiently waiting except this tricycle rider who blatantly disregarded. I also chanced on other tricycles who had parked at unauthorized places with the excuse of helping a colleague whose tricycle had developed a fault. With the aforementioned and other concerns, bus drivers who ply the same route have described their experiences with tricycle riders as problematic.
Who say be a monster na monto mo bonti na amuhu ne so mo rush
da bi ono na ni tua pa se kai ba a wo so man kwan what I say onam na ono e bia like okwakwadi na chi no be bia wokofa no ono nyon na so fa ho na ni tua pa se wo ba be fa ho
no no abefa wo kokape no no ba be kontokwa
di bia anyam car accident ba jan car we won say won no so you overtaking kra na on ba fa left o side ha no wo so bia obi a stop on na say wo gina ti say one show o right ni here but one say no dey abere o da bobo car no obi a happen me 2 times na me kita trotro me si obi emu ya say o da abasha ono amom o da gotem also ono onu hu ni mistake ndi wanye bibia aha ba ko so awosh and the same thing that time kra na free na won mutwa awosh kwan no ono so the sham side the girl no team no boy oti achi no kra oprai ba ono ye ni mistake ndi ono so wan ma anya gidigidi na o ma efa o mo musu okoi
Aboboyaa for the in fact o mo ha ya adwene pa was sometimes no onam na okwa after le na say okwa no le mu a o hwe da che ohu nti bo ha say wa de wa cross no da batwu o ya no no o mo no ntokwa was o mo ba pe o mo besem say bia say no ba kontokwa nti say de de so o mo so mo ya fi ya ne je ho.
It causes a lot of traffic on the road. Sometimes it can even cause accidents or something on the road. So I think it's okay if the finance.
You think they should stop
Yes,
flying the
please.
roads?
Yes, please.
But you know that is the work they do to also survive. So
Yes, I know that, but they overload their car too much. That is what makes the car run slow on the way and then cause the traffic. Yes. So I think maybe they can limit the load or something. If not, then they have to.
It creates so much inconvenience. If they are willing to observe the road regulations, I think it would be fair for them to use the road. But sometimes, because they don't observe it, sometimes it creates nuisance. Maybe it is time for you to move before you realize somebody just passes in front of you. If you don't take your time, you just knock the person down. And becomes an issue where you have to now then carry the person as if you are obligation to carry the person to the hospital. Meanwhile, it's not from your fault. Yes, so those are some of the issues.
would you agree that they are stopped from using principal streets?
That one I can't speak to that because they are also supposed to use the roads as normal road users, whether pedestrian, car, or anything. But because they are not observing it, that's where it creates that nuisance. Yeah.
Meanwhile, the riders are mostly at risk when commuting to Weja. David is a rubbish collector who tells me a few of his friends have lost their lives along that stretch.
na mo de kwa highway no so ya na sen na tie cars mbomo so abe unsuro
Yes, road here, never end.
sen na ya no react towards me
Trotro for na ya omo haya kakere ho. Enti eno de yam timi hihie pa.
ade e bit say e bi wono ma e bit me e bom na sen na ya na tie
But e bit timi boy.
What me share experience I be bored
Ne de bi mbo me da. But me nuanom kra e bit timi bo mo kra. E bi mu kra mpo omo wuwo.
any say hu
Eno de hu. Eno mo na didi nti. Da no na.
Most drivers opine that the bylaw to regulate movement of tricycles and motor riders on highways in the capital is not far-fetched.
Reporting for City News, my name is Kweku Ediama Ansa.
The major stakeholders in this particular business are the riders of these tricycles. We want to find out from them the nature of their business, the routes they ply, and how much of a challenge this new directive, if indeed it should come into force, will be to them. There are a number of them here at Aboboyaa, and so we're going straight into the engagement with them. Welcome to the City Newsroom.
Yeah, thank you very much, boys.
Right, well, what kind of goods do you cart in this tricycle, and how long have you been riding for?
We ride almost 4 years, 5 years now. Because we don't get any job to do Accra here, but we come Accra here to try our best and survive.
Right, what kind of goods do you carry?
We could carry the scraps. If somebody buy tomatoes, onion, where is plenty, so that we'll carry it and take it go. That's all. But it's not plenty these things where we know they take human being people put inside, where somebody go fall down or somebody go do this thing.
Let me find out from someone else. When you cut the goods, say from Aboboyaa, what road do you use?
Yeah, actually, we have been using the main roads because after they demolish our distance, some of our customers are in motorway and some of our like Amasama side. So with that route that we they pass. From that like even Achimotors have some people did there, and our customers have been there, so that we have been carrying goods in and out. Sometimes we are carrying it from Aboboyaa to that side, and sometimes we are carrying it that side to Aboboyaa.
Let me come back to my friend here and find out, if you use the major roads, how difficult is it for you? Because there are what we will call normal vehicles plying the same road. You are sharing the road with these vehicles. How difficult is it for you?
Yes, it's difficult because you have to be in your lane. We have to be outside.
But there's no designated lane for you.
Yes, but we have to be outside. You can't go inside the road, but you be at the side. So if they come, the car will alert you so that you put yourself aside so that the car will pass. You can come to the road side again.
Do you normally get accidents?
Yes, we get accidents small. If you don't manage yourself, it be how you go get at the accident.
Right. Now the Greater Accra Regional Minister says to stop all this, well, there's a proposal or a suggestion for a bylaw to stop you guys from using the major roads. What do you think about this?
The problem is, if he is going to stop us to use these motorbikes, there is no problem about it. But what he go bring for us, make we the use? That be the question. If we stop this thing, we get family, where will they feed them? If it this one, where will they use they feed our family? So if we stop at the drive this thing, which one will give us? Make we they take care of our family. Because if we don't know the thing where we go take care of our family, we can't stop riding it.
So what he's saying is that he doesn't want you to use the major roads. Do you have other roads that you can use?
No, we don't have other roads because it be the major road where our customers dey. If you take goods here, unless you take it go Tema. So there you go past that road, or you can't go anywhere unless without that road. So if we take goods here, unless we pass that road, yes. Okay. So if it's going to stop us, unless we find something, they find something else where they can give us so that we will do that job, so that we're gonna feed our family small.
All right, Chief. Do you think this will be the solution to the problem? Putting in a bylaw to stop Aboboyaa riders from using the major road?
For me, I don't think, because even if you look at how we have been managing, and at least even the way he talk about the major roads, you know, even Accra here, I don't know the roads that we talk like you think say be major road, because all the roads have been busy all in and day out. So if they said, then he just want to stop us, like he just want to stop us at work. You know, be like say he want to stop. He don't want us to follow the middle roads again. Maybe he just want to stop us. And that one too, as my brother say, like for that one we have our parents or like our families where we have been taken care of. Some of us we have been married, and some of us we haven't married yet, but we have parents. So assuming even if you don't have, even if you are taking care of your parents and you yourself, if like maybe you quit the job, how you go used to manage for living. So we just feeling like maybe if you have a menu like some other way to help us with that, because for the Aboboyaa or the 3 ties work there, it be that one way we do and be getting small for our family and then we ourselves.
So see my family road into the bedding kakame, because to say I be a bit me load na and me faka na omama dia fa kwan so ana yɛfa nneɛma no de akɔ nti ɛbɛ sɛ ntimi mfa main road no so a ɛbɛha yɛ kakra
nti dɛn na mobɛpɛ
nka yɛbɛsrɛ na ɔmboae because yɛgya wei na yɛso yɛnya bibi ndi nti ɔmboae a ɛbɛyɛ den ma yɛ
mmoa bɛn saa na
nti sɛ na ɔka sɛ ma yɛmfa main road no sɛ yɛmfa main road no a na sɛ memfa sɛ nneɛma no kɔ bɛyɛ ɔdɔna achimota sɛ yɛbɛfa main road na yɛde nneɛma no akɔ nso memfa ne sɛ saa nso na yɛyɛ kakrakra a yɛnya bibi di nti ɛbɛsa ɛbɛha yɛ kakra
mini ni nya adwen because sabi wakɔ school mi ma nkɔ school mi boss ni so ma nkɔ school ana wusi Aboboyaa ennam mero so a enfa ne bana yɛmfa nnam mero no sa yɛbɛyɛ radzi mi a meti an mo yiri mesa mo nkɔra 15 na mi Aboboyaa na mi de adwuma ma mfa yɛ adwuma bɛyɛ rafio mo ana minister no batuma ba hwɛ me ɛfɛ me kɔra na ka ho nti on chance sɛ amra ne yie deɛ o kan de ayɛ ne yɛ adwen kura
yɛsɛ mo ha adwen wɔ kwan no so mo kɔ siase dɛ mo kɔ sɛ traffic ne adeɛ ɛnyampa
dabe Aboboyaa ne ka kwan no enye ka nti na ɔmyɛ kwan nipa kura fo timi fo kwan nipa timi fa kwan nti Aboboyaa nam kwan so ayɛ ha adwen ka so ne na ha adwen ohun pa onim sɛ obo okura mpo ɛyɛ kwa ɛyɛ krama na ewu ɔkwan so de eba ma ekosu ni sɛ Aboboyaa no ye nipa bebre ni bi nti de pemo on kramo
nipa ne se obɛhye mra mo mfa kwan so pemo
ye pemo ye adwuma because ye de antimi batina parliament wo ya nkɔ school ye nya sena onu onya tumi otimi ye adwuma ye de ye tumi ne Aboboyaa na ye drive nti o ye de Aboboyaa de antimi njai ye ba jai kura oni de on pedwuma bi yere emfa hye sa what ase na pe obi mu a ye ba to motors ne yere amma mu na yetimi ayeyame.
We heard from the operators of these tricycles, popularly known as Aboboyaa. Let's get into the market and speak to some of the traders or customers who employ the services of these tricycles. Aboboyaa in front.
Okay. Yeah, the fan no ma supply.
Enyoma ben sa na mofa.
They say enchine me nya mole a me customer no afre me fa mole bele me. Bentimi nsoa. Me nsoa me niska me de ba kwakoto bosu akaimacho nti wei e na wo say me fa. Eno ye normal no de akwa ama me.
The mo fa nyoma no fi hen e de ko be hen sa.
Oh. Ti say bia enchine me de agu fa akon. Obi fra me so enchine a.
Now the command were him for baby saying hen I am ko.
To say bia me de abela na aduane wura bi pa. Ni ma yakɔ baby a.
Etimo kwa kwan ben so na mofa main road.
Oh, yetimi fa hakɔ ahaya na efa kɔ. Ekɔ ni ma. Medina so ebetimi afa no ma na ekɔ.
Eti am bi say regional minister says mofa main road na mo ha adwene eti no be hyemra say be ya Aboboyaa for emfa main road to bio. What is that same way now? I drink your own.
My drink, I say, Yenny be Sabi, any kunu. Yenny and Panano, I share my man's want to me and Cosco and Quechi. Ebia Wako Squa, SS, Wanya for Mobua, Wanya for Mimi to say me my for. Me man will be any warrior by a Juma. And the Juma way I'm near me, they share me mano. Saint Kerr say, obey a sadia, and your own Aboboyaa, I won't pay a boso kind much your mammy. And ya me baba akuye me second boy driver metimi na akor around e no de me okay na we no susu man so anya we amfa anko a me ntimi nsoa si wo ho na me so me wo customers a mo de beye omo di ayi na ya aduane ho adwuma na me ye
na bo so kan macho na ni we de na
oh okay aboso kan macho no eboa we nso boa but aboso kan macho no de all right car or driver.
Baby out into Usru.
Miss one a mayan day, a binifie.
Also, Ote by your soda or the coin.
That's why me come ala market.
Na Aboboyaa na with media found to me for be from.
Oh, yet me for taxi. Na and na me sick as someone yentam my fa Aboboyaa. Na Aboboyaa answer your fa at the air contentem. Nenuntina ya fa Aboboyaa.
Intentem na chese o dwane pa na so fa lungulungu ana se.
Yes sir, dwane o tumi fa lungulungu na ye contem.
Na you tesu say Indiana wunsu.
Ebi wa na misuro nso obeye nde.
Let's go back to the regional minister, Henry Quartey, who has held a consultative dialogue on the proposed bylaw and is hoping to have it gazetted soon so it can be put into practice by the various MMDAs.
Let me say in plain words, the bylaw, is not to take Aboboyas from, or take away their daily bread, rather. Rather, it is to help regulate their operations and also prevent accidents from happening on the major roads, the principal highways, which in itself helps to check the rider, in the sense that as we speak today, most of the Aboboyas are either not registered, the riders have either not insured themselves, even the Aboboya that they ride. They are not wearing proper gears or protective gears, and they use unauthorized routes. They dump refuse anywhere at all. Those who even sell pure water, what do? Sometimes you notice that they break down in the middle of the highway or something, and then you see polythene bags all over the place. What this bylaw seeks to check is that the DVLA will liaise with the respective assemblies, and they will go to the assemblies and help to register new owners of Aboboya and also renew licenses for people who may already be riding Aboboya. They will also help to provide riders' license for them. After all these statutory requirements has been completed, the assemblies will issue out a business operating permit, and this is not new either. Because I'm saying so because most of the commercial drivers, the taxi drivers, if you notice, they have got something by the size of their door, embossment. It shows you clearly which district these cars are coming from. Same will be done with respect to the Aboboyas.
But this business operating permit you make mention of, will it be transcending the various assemblies, or will it allow for a person to operate from one assembly to another? I'm asking because of those who operate in our market space. For example, those who cut sawdust and plywood from the timber markets to other areas. Will this permit allow them to do so?
Well, hitherto, before the arrival of Aboboya, how were we cutting sawdust? As some vehicles have, by law, can ride on the highways. You see what I mean? So yes, if you want to cut your sawdust from timber market to Tema, you don't have to use an Aboboya. Yes, you don't have to use an Aboboya, because we are saying that Aboboya will not allow them to ply those routes.
The assemblies work with the police. Every place on earth in Ghana here is supposed to be managed by one assembly or the other. So if you go to the districts, they engage the police people because indeed the head of security is the chief executive of a particular district. So they need that kind of cooperation to be able to get some of these laws enforced. And so if you bring them together, ideally, we are even hoping to get them to share their challenges and to see how we overcome those challenges. And beyond this discussion and the bylaw, we expect them to cooperate so that some of these things will be implemented.